I'm going to now teach you about how to balance chemical equations. The vocabulary. Chemical reactions at any time chemicals combine together and rearrange to create new compounds. And the chemical equation is an equation that shows how many particular combinations of elements or compounds join together and how many of the compound you get as a result. Everything on the left side, things going into a reaction, are reactants. While everything that comes out of the chemical reaction, everything on the right side, are products. Those are the things you get. Now, when we're looking at this, coefficients, that's the number in front, is the number of molecules that you have. Whereas if you have a tiny number in between letters, that's the subscript. Big number, coefficient, small number, subscript. When I recommend you're getting started with this, you really need to write this down on a piece of paper. So at this point, please get out a piece of paper and something to write with. And I'd also recommend writing out these 6 steps. Step 1, write out your equation on paper. Number 2, multiply out the reactants. I'll show you how to do this in a moment. 3, multiply out the products. 4, change the coefficients so you can match the amount of each atom on each side. And next, see if you can simplify it, reduce the ratios to the lowest possible ratio, and then check your work. So this is our first example. This is propane, carbon 6, hydrogen 12, oxygen 6, plus oxygen creates water and carbon dioxide. What type of reaction is this? That's right, it's a combustion reaction. Now, the steps to balancing it out, let's first write on a piece of paper, and we're going to write out the elements in here. We have carbon in here, we have hydrogen in here, and we have oxygen. To find this, we're going to look at the subscripts. So we have 6 carbons, so 6 carbons. We have 8 oxygens. Why? We have 6 here, and we have 2 more here. So that's a total of 8 oxygens. And lastly, we have 12 hydrogens. 12 hydrogens. Now on the product side. On the product side, we have 1 carbon. We have 1 and 2, so 3 total oxygen and 2 hydrogens. Awesome. Now we need to figure out how to balance this. Let's start out by balancing the carbons. To do this, we're going to multiply the right side, the carbon dioxide, by 6. In doing so, that means I have 6 carbons and 6 times 2, 12 oxygens, and don't forget that extra oxygen over here. So 6 plus 2, or 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13, and I still have 2 hydrogens. I've balanced my carbons, but I haven't balanced my oxygens. Now we have an even number of oxygen on this side, but we had an odd number over here. So let's balance the hydrogens while also changing this to an even number. So I had 12 hydrogens on the left. How am I going to get H2 to 12? I'm going to multiply it by 6. 6 H2, so 12 hydrogens and 6 oxygens. Don't forget the other 12, so I have 18 oxygens now. All right, I've balanced the carbons and I've balanced the hydrogens. All I need now is extra oxygen. I need 10 more oxygen. In order to do that, I have O2. So I am going to multiply this by 6. That means I have 6 plus 6 times 2 is 12. 6 plus 12 is 18, and I have balanced my equation. Now, we're going to have you try some. Now we're going to balance phosphorus plus oxygen creates diphosphorus pentoxide. Counting things on the left, we have 1 phosphorus and 2 oxygen, so that's 1 phosphorus, 2 oxygens. On the right side, I have 2 phosphoruses and 5 oxygens. Let's start by balancing the phosphoruses. Now I have 2 on the right and 1 on the left. Let's multiply the phosphorus by 2. Awesome. And now we have a problem. The problem is this number is even and this number is odd. So we're going to have to balance both sides. Now, if you're ever stuck, try multiplying both numbers together. 5 and 2. So this oxygen will be multiplied by 5 and oxygen will be multiplied by 2. In that case, 5 oxygens became 10 oxygens, and 2 times 5 became 10 oxygens. Hey, the oxygen's balanced, but phosphorus is imbalanced now. Well, that's easy enough. Instead of having 2 phosphoruses, let's have 4, and now the equation is balanced. Now, sulfur and oxygen creating sulfur trioxide or sulfite. 8 sulfurs, 2 oxygens, and on the other side, 1 sulfur, 3 oxygens. How am I going to do this? Okay, well, to balance out the sulfur, I'm going to have to multiply that by 8. So let's start out by multiplying sulfur by 8. That gives me 8 sulfurs and 24 oxygens. Hey, all I have to do now is figure out how many oxygens I need. Well, I have O2, so I need 24. How about 12 O2s? And that balances our problem. If you have any questions, here's our emails. Thank you and have a good day.